Hello, my name is Alexander, and I have an imaginary friend. It all goes back to when I was a child. I had many imaginary friends, tons and tons of little multicolored cloverleaf people, happy little things, Snarf from the Thundercats, unicorns, and a girl. Chucky from Child's Play also was there, but that's another story. There was one boy though, one boy that I never ever spoke of. As all of my little colorful friends frolicked and played around me, he sat in a dark corner, staring at the wall. He was always the same age as I was. When I was 6, so was he. When I was 13, so was he. And so on, all of my life. He was always the same size and stature of myself, but more emaciated. His hair was long, almost impossibly long for an average child of my age at the time. Down to his waist, it would stretch and reach, hanging in symmetrical tendrils. It was intensely full and thick. The color of it was stark black, dark as the abyss. In the early days, he stayed to the shadows, keeping himself kinda concealed. From around his head there was a slight, eerie sort of glow, and a shadow that he casted. I never really understood why at the time, even though this creepy child was always with me and I knew I should never talk about him. I still felt love, even for him, as I did all my imaginary friends, even after. Every so often he would say things to me. At first it was nothing more than an unnerving child's voice speaking from his far-off dark corner. Soon enough, I could hear him as if he were speaking right in my ear. It started out small. The antisocial boy would utter things from time to time. One day, he said,
"You should break that thing. Maybe you'll get a new one, Alex."
I would get into trouble many times when I would do what he said to do, and then I would tell him he was a big meanie and that I hated him. And then I would cool off and forget about it fast enough. Other times, he would tell me something like,
"Do that thing. You need the attention, don't you, Alex?"
I would tell him no and saying that that was a bad thing to do, but he would insist.
"Who cares if it's good or bad, Alex? You need the attention, no matter what kind of attention you get. Do it, now."
Eventually, I would cave in and go for it, landing myself in trouble yet again. One day, after doing something the other boy told me to do, I had gotten in the most trouble I had ever been in my life. And then I heard him utter something.
"I can't believe they did that to you, Alex. Alex, listen carefully. Go to the kitchen and find the biggest curved edged, thin to thick bladed knife. Walk slowly and as soft as you can behind the man. Jam the butcher knife straight into his back just below the first quarter of it. With the edge of the knife pointed away from you, push at an outward angle. It will be so much fun. The crimson colors will be so pretty. And I know you'll like it too, because I love it."
No! I screamed. I was in a bit more trouble after screaming out of nowhere at nothing, but at least it stopped him that time. After I screamed, just before the door burst open, I saw a flash of blue light, and the boy vanished. A long while passed, till one night, One night when I had awakened in the middle of the night, I looked and I saw the most hideous sight I ever had the misfortune to witness up to that point. The boy had returned. He stood in the corner facing the wall, and then he spoke.
I'm sorry, Alex. I was bad. I'm standing in the corner thinking about what I've done. I'm thinking about how much fun I had doing it. Sorry, I am sorry though. Alex, listen to me now. Those pathetic fools were plotting to hurt you, and I couldn't allow it. From now on, I will not allow anyone to harm you, Alex. Your body is already mine. Soon, your soul will be mine too.
I looked over the room, unable to move, entirely disgusted. Crimson substance was cast about, scattered all around the room. Saw Snarf's head caught in a basketball hoop. The body parts of all my imaginary friends, all their blood littered the entire room. He killed each and every one of them. The confetti and the colorful creatures were gone forever. Luckily, no one heard me. I didn't want to tell anyone anything about this. I would lie and pretend I was still the happy child I was. I finally willed myself to move, and I attacked him, furiously hitting and kicking him repeatedly. Eventually, as I thrashed him, I saw his face, and I was frozen with fear once more. The boy's face was pure white. His eyes glowed with a solid crimson. The solid crimson looked like a glowing energy from inside of the empty black eye sockets. The vibrant glow of solid red had black pupils, the size of eyes themselves, housed in the bloody glow. The boy's face, slightly resembling myself, bared more similar to the visage of a skull. Instead of the narrowing cheekbones of a skull, the lower portion of the boy's face had a wide maw, split into a smile from ear to ear, with a top and a bottom row of razor-sharp, almost shark-like teeth, appearing more like dozens of tiny butcher knives lining the upper and lower mandible of the impossibly wide smile. The teeth sat. Protruding from his temples were proportionate to the size of his head horns that took a similar shape to lightning bolts. He was all pure white, like ancient sun-bleached bones, and in the center of his chest there was a hole. The hole in his chest wasn't a wound, wasn't bloody or jagged or red or anything. It was just a perfect dark circle. The strange dark circle in his torso did not show the other side of him. Instead, the perfect shadowy circle was pure blackness, void, to oblivion. Emptiness. Inside of the boy was emptiness. Dark and malevolent. Became lost in the infinite chasm that echoed from this terrifying, hideously twisted, inverted version of myself as a lad. He sat up, and he sat me down in front of him, and he spoke. Again.
Glad to meet you face to face, Alex. My name is Chaotic, and I am always with you. Now and forever.